Today I want to demonstrate one of the vision tools in the Banner VE camera. It has quite a few tools, but today I want to show you how to apply the bead tool. Now, the bead tool will allow you to follow a bead and make sure it's a continuous bead or multiple beads on a surface that you're applying, let's say a glue or a sealant or something like that. And I just wanted to take some time to show you how to apply it and how to use the tools to determine if it's a good bead or a bad bead. So let's get started. This product right here is a Banner Q4X multi-purpose sensor. And as you can see here, there is a sealant bead that goes all the way around, and it's one continuous, or it's supposed to be one continuous bead. What I'm going to do is apply the bead tool and then apply some tools to it to basically say, okay, is the bead too thin? Is it too wide? Is it continuous? And then using that information, I'm going to assign a pass-fail, and we'll go from there. So let's get started. Let's add a bead tool. So first thing I'm going to do is come down here, plus, to add a tool. These are all the different tools that are available from the VE. And I should mention that also they added a barcode tool to this, a two-dimensional and a single-dimensional barcode to this tools. I haven't applied it yet because it just came out the other day. But anyway, let's apply the bead, and that'll pop up so you can see what's there. And the first thing I'm going to do is drag this corner, and I'm going to start. This is my starting place, and you can start anywhere you want. But then I'm going to take the second one. I'm going to try to keep this blue line in the center of the bead and come up here, and then when you want to add to the bead, you just click on this arrow that's to the right of the thing here, and we'll just keep going down and add another one, and another one. We'll just keep adding these beads. And when you've done it enough times, you get pretty good at it. And I'm just going to keep applying the beads until I get to the other end. It's a little overlap here, so that's close enough. All right, let me blow this back out so you can see we've got the line that's in the bead is highlighted. We can see it. Now, the other thing I should mention is if you look at these arrows, you can make it wider or smaller depending on what you want to do. I'm just going to try to stay within that line and get the big bead. So, all right, so you can see we have a good count. It says one continuous bead, and then you go down to average width, and if you hit the expand that, you can see what the largest is and the smallest, and that'll help you when you're applying your tolerances over here. So the region of interest is at 47 pixels. I'm measuring every second pixel, but you can do every pixel, every fourth. I just choose 2 because it's right in the middle, and it's like an average. Now I'm going to hit test. And what test does is it brings up the actual tools and allows you to do that. So you got to click on a count. We want a count of 1, and you can see that it is. Then we come down to the largest width, the smallest width, and total length. Okay? Those are what we're going to do. So we're going to come to the first one here. It says the largest width right now has no numbers assigned to it, and you see the largest is 45. So I want to move these little gems on either side of it, and this between those two arrows is your tolerance. So you can make it tighter or you can make it looser, whatever you want to do. Let's just make it a little tighter here. Okay. Now that one, you see that turn green, and the smallest width was what, 21.84. But if we move this over here, and that one, and you can also, if you want, you can literally enter the numbers in here or use the up and down arrows, but I find it just as easy to use the arrows. Okay, we have one more because this is still red, and you can see we want to know the total length. So let's bring this over here, and we'll set up tolerances there. And this, by the way, is in pixels. You can go into the a scale factor and figure out what a pixel represents as far as inches, millimeters, whatever, and scale it, but I always like to use pixels because it's the most accurate. There's no scale factor, so you don't have to worry about fractions and stuff like that. So okay, so we've got that. Now this little camera you see up here that simulates a sensor for a trigger or a push button for a trigger, so we can just do that. And you see that I got a red line, and if you look here, we have a thin spot here, and there's a thin spot over here. And if you look up here, you've the total length is good, but if you look down here, you'll see that the count is not good because you're seeing more than one bead. You see you're having two beads here. That's because of this. And then if you look at the largest width, is still okay, but the smallest width is not okay. Okay, so once you play with this, you can adjust these numbers to where you want to accept or reject, which is really cool. So I'm going to click it again, and I should have another void right down here. And I'm going to click it again, and it comes up to good. So that's the bead tool. If you have any questions, you can ask your local banner representative, and I'm sure they'll be able to help you. Or if you want something, you can reach me at mike.whitney@powermation.com. Thanks. Enjoy.